Nick Ewing says, "Hi, Mike. Hi, Nick. I grew up praying before every meal, even in restaurants. I want to know how often I should do this since I don't want to be like the Pharisees, praying publicly to be seen by others." Yeah, so here's an interesting thought. Jesus says, don't be like the Pharisees who do their prayers to be seen by others. And in fact, he says this about several things they do. He said they make their phylacteries really broad. This was like a little box with scripture on it, which isn't inherently bad. They made it broad. They enlarged it because they wanted others to see them as more righteous. They made the borders of their garment even bigger, which had religious significance, but they made it even bigger so people could see how religious they were. You know, it's like getting a big Bible for the purpose of people seeing you carry the big Bible around, or like getting it all roughed up just so they could be like, wow, it's very spiritual. Look at your roughed up Bible. But what if you just happen to have a roughed up Bible, but it's not for that purpose? What if like the only phylactery you could find at the store was kind of big, but you didn't mean it to be for that purpose? It was just the only one available to you. Are you making the Pharisee mistake? Or what if you think praying for meals is a way of honoring God and you're not doing it for people to watch you, but you are doing it when people can see you? I think you're not a Pharisee in that case. I think it's the motive that Jesus was really targeting, not just the behavior. So it's the reason for the behavior. You know, Jesus calls them whitewashed tombs. He's like, you know, outwardly you appear good to men. Like a tomb, like a tomb full of dead men's bones that's painted white. It looks pretty, it looks nice on the outside. Lots of, you know, cemeteries do this with the ones that have tombs. They look very nice outwardly, but inwardly there's just that stark reality that they're full of dead men's bones. That was the Pharisees. They looked good on the outside, but the inside was dead. So when you pray in public, I think it's okay, in so long as you are not doing it for the people listening. And this is a great temptation. Even with me, like I've got viewers watching online and I'm going to pray at the end of this stream today. That's hugely praying in public, way more than you ever do when you pray over a meal at a restaurant. Is my motive to look good to you guys? I mean, you don't know this, but I have to do the heart work to make sure that's not the case. I could try to pray in certain ways that would make you feel more impressed, but I think it would make God more depressed, at least in regards to my genuine spirituality. So praying in public, I mean, Paul's like, I desire all men everywhere to lift up their hands in prayer. Praying in public is a good thing, in so long as it's not praying for the public. Catch the difference? Most like presidential inaugurational prayers are like this. Most, not all, but most seem like this. As I listen, I'm like, yeah, this was like a prayer that was crafted for the viewers instead of for the Lord. That's the kind of prayer that you want to avoid. So there's nothing in scripture that says we're supposed to pray over every meal. There's nothing in scripture that says you're not supposed to. I knew a student who kind of struggled with this. And I think that there was a season where at least he felt like he didn't want to pray over meals because he felt like it seemed, maybe he didn't say it in these words, but my impression, I could be wrong, was that he felt like it was kind of silly. Like, I've been doing this thing all the time. I don't even know why I'm doing it. I know why I do it. I pray over pretty much every meal. It's because it was Jesus's example. Jesus did bless the food or pray over the food. I mean, we use the word bless in strange ways sometimes in modern times. So he did pray over the food, giving thanks for the food. That was a regular thing that was done. And this seems like a very good habit to have, since the New Testament tells us to be thankful very frequently, and not only frequently does it tell us to be thankful, but it tells us to be frequently thankful, to be continually thankful people. And this is good for when you pray, at least to be thanking the Lord for providing for you. This acknowledges God's provision for you. I think it's a healthy thing. I wouldn't judge a Christian for not doing it at all, but I think it's a healthy thing. I think it follows Jesus's example, who seems to do that pretty much all the time. And probably it was normal in his culture as well, I'd imagine. But he definitely set that example. So I think it seems like a healthy thing to do. The Pharisees are being ultimately ridiculed, not just for doing things in public, but doing things for the public. That's the thing to avoid. Yeah.